Hey, what's up guys, Retro Gaming Guy here. So today in this video, we're going to unbox, demo, and review the Reatan Alloy 9 mini gaming PC. So anytime I see a mini gaming PC that has some really attractive specs, I want to dive in, I want to test it out, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to unbox this, we're going to take a look at the layout and design, we're going to fire it up, jump into a wide range of games, both retro video game emulation as well as AAA titles to see where the performance lies on here. But first we got to dive into those specs. So the Reatan Alloy 9 mini gaming PC offers the AMD Ryzen 9 7940HS processor. We have the AMD Radeon 780M graphics on here, 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, and we also have a 1 terabyte SSD installed within, running Windows 11. So this should definitely deliver some high-end performance here for gaming. So let's start unboxing it and take it from there. All right, so we'll start opening this up. We've got our little warnings over here. We've got our user manual, which I always like to just kind of thumb through this briefly. So it walks through our ports here, everything that's available on here, everything that should be inside of the packaging here. And then it does go through everything in a couple different languages as well, walks through how to go about setting everything up, which is always nice. Pretty straightforward. It also tells you how you can go about opening everything up to access everything internally. So very thorough, actually more so than what we typically see on mini PCs. Here's the mini PC itself. We're going to set that aside. We'll see what else is in here for starters. So if we take a look inside, we've got our power supply cable, 2 parts. We've got an HDMI cable, and we have what look like some, let's see, rubber stoppers of some sort or replacement buttons. I'll have to look closer at that. No mount in here, which is okay. These actually might be, let me see. Let's take a look at the mini PC. It might be replacement feet for the bottom of this. That's what it is. It's extra feet for the bottom. We have 4 rubber feet here, which we're probably going to need to remove in order to open this up, but very nicely put together here. Let me clear some of this stuff out of the way. All right, so here again is our mini PC. We've got our power button down here. We've got a USB 4 and another USB 4, both of which are Type-C connections. We also have a audio jack connection right next to that. This is where you're going to plug in a microphone, your headset, etc. If we flip this around to the side, you can see we have ventilation across here. Same thing on the other side. On the back is where you're going to find all of your port options. So we have our 19-volt power supply connection right here. We simply plug in our power supply cable that's provided right in there. We have 2 HDMI ports right here, so we can get this up and running on 2 different displays via HDMI alone. We also have our Ethernet connection, and we have 4 USB 3 connections on the back side here. So even though these are located on the back, I love the fact that there are 4 USB 3s here, because as a gamer, I always use, it seems like I always use anyways, USB-A connections for bringing in a flash drive, bringing in controllers, bringing in any external SSDs that I have games loaded onto, stuff like that. So I end up using a lot of USB-A ports, plus a keyboard, plus a mouse, etc. So great ventilation it seems on here though. Same thing on the bottom. If we wanted to open this up, all we have to do here is simply put this down like so, and we're going to just simply remove these little rubber stoppers here. They pop out very easily, and there's actually tabs on here. This is very well thought out. Very hard to see this, but there are little tabs on each end, and all you have to do is just insert them into the little holes down here. I'll try to bring this in a little bit closer so you guys can see. You can see how right here we have a hole there and a hole there. You're just going to line the tabs up on here just like so, push them in, and they pop right into place really nicely. So easy to remove them, easy to lock them right back in. You don't have to deal with the adhesive on the bottom, which I've run into that issue a lot lately, where the adhesive kind of comes off when you remove them. So then you end up putting them back in and they fall off all the time. This is going to solve that problem 100%. All right, so now that we have all 4 of the stopper pegs out, we can go in here with a screwdriver and simply unscrew each of the 4 screws here. And if you have a magnetic tip screwdriver, it's going to be much easier. All right, so now that we have all 4 screws removed, we're just simply going to put our screwdriver head in here, just get a little leverage, and you can see that we lift this right off. Now don't go yanking this because there are some connections right here, so you have to be really careful. I'm going to go ahead and turn this way, and I'll actually kind of rest that up against that for for the time being, or here we go. Rest it right on there. So these are still slack, and you can see that we have access to everything internally in here. We have the fan right here on top. If we wanted to adjust the RAM or do anything within, we can go ahead and actually remove this. There's 4 screws on this bracket right here. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. That'll lift everything right off, but I'm not going to go any further. I can see where everything is underneath here. Right up here is where our RAM is located, but I'm not going to bother with that today. I just want to get an idea for, how everything's laid out within here. There's no space to put a SSD, on the lid here, or the, the ventilation like we see on some mini PCs, which I'm okay with. Just worth mentioning, obviously, that is how everything is set up inside here. So I'm going to put the 4 screws back in, drop in the rubber stoppers, and then we're going to fire this up. We'll jump into a bunch of different games to test out the performance of this mini PC.
Love 15. Love 30.
Fight! You win! KO.
Look, the ship cutter is here. There it goes. Hey, we should get moving. Yep, good looking out. Hurry, we gotta finish before they start cutting this wing.
Cal,
right, guys, we just jumped in here. We tested out this mini gaming PC, and wow, the specs on here are insane, and they deliver some really high-end performance. But before we dive into that in depth, I want to talk about the layout and design on this. Now, I love the fact that this has a bunch of port offerings on here. If you've seen any of my review videos in the past, you know I'm always looking for USB-A ports because I use a lot of USB-A devices. I use multiple controllers that are wired in, especially when I'm testing things at my desk here. I don't need to go the wireless route. When I do go the wireless route, though, I typically will use a USB receiver. So it makes perfect sense to have a lot of USB-A options, and we have USB-A options galore on the back side of this. So we can bring in a keyboard, a mouse, controllers, USB flash drive. We want to bring more games into the mix. I use today an external hard drive with tons of games on there to test everything out on this mini PC. I connected that over via USB-A connection in the back as well. We also have the two USB 4 ports in the front of this, which are Type-C, obviously. That enables you to actually, alongside the HDMI ports in the back, get a quad display setup going. So that means that you could have this mini PC up and running with 4 different displays at the exact same time, which is a home run for so many people. Now, I have actually brought 3 displays into my typical setup here, especially for live streams now. And I've always talked about how I never use more than 2 displays. Now I'm using 3, and with something like this, I could then use 4. So I can be editing a video, I can be watching a video, I can be, jumping into my bank accounts, I could be jumping into the stocks and stuff like that. I could do a lot of different things. I could even have a display where I'm gaming at the same time. There's just so many things that I can do at the same time now, where a quad display setup like this would be beneficial. So also love the fact that this is a lightweight design, very compact. We're seeing a lot of mini gaming PCs get a little bit chunkier, and this is, I wouldn't say that this is one of the most compact, but it's still fairly compact. It's also lightweight. It's a fully integrated aluminum body to this. We also have dual fans within that keep everything nice and cool. Excellent ventilation on here for airflow. Now let's talk about the performance on here, because this is a powerhouse with gaming. It's truly a mini gaming PC. It's not a mini PC that is, designed for a million other things. It can handle a million other things, but gaming is something that is, a main focus with this mini PC, and it can handle just about anything that you throw at it. So this is, again, a great processor, great graphics. They pair beautifully together, and you see that with retro video game emulation. You can get into anything that you want to emulate effectively with this. There's no shortcomings whatsoever due to the mini PC. That doesn't mean that, emulators are going to be able to handle every single game. There are some emulators that are very limited, so you will have limitations with the emulators themselves, but you won't have any limitations with this mini PC. Everything that should emulate effectively will on this mini PC. We even jumped into AAA titles. We jumped into some more demanding titles as well, where I typically do see some disconnect with mini PCs. Did not have that experience here. So we had a great experience with AAA titles, Halo Infinite being a great example. It is a couple years old, but it is super demanding, and this sails through it without a hitch. So love what this offers. Again, I bring it right back to that processor and the graphics here. They complement each other beautifully, but the design of this is a home run as well. And again, for those that want the quad display capabilities, this has your back there 100%. So now in terms of price point, we're looking at $709 at the time of this recording on Amazon, but there's currently a $100 off coupon available that you can apply at checkout. That'll bring it down to just over $600 total. So I think at this price point, it's not a huge, value necessarily, but I do believe that it's a fair price point for what you get on here. We have exceptional performance here associated with this thanks to the processor and the graphics. We have quad display capabilities on here, excellent airflow, excellent cooling on here, super fast speeds as well. So I definitely think it's a fair price point, but you guys let me know what you guys think. Do you like the layout and design? Do you like the performance? Do you like the price point? Do you think it's fair? Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. You guys know the deal. If you want additional information on this mini PC, click the link at the top of your screen or in the description of this video. We'll bring you right over there so you can check out this in depth on Amazon. And that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up on the video. And of course, hit subscribe to stay in the loop for all future videos right here on the Retro Gaming Guy YouTube channel. See you guys on the next one.